Oh, that was a very interesting Sunday, to say the least. What is up, football fans, but also Finn fans? Or Finn fans, but also football fans. I normally don't do this. Normally, I recap the Dolphins game, and then I put up the best of the live stream, and then I do the deeper dive. I do about 3 or 4 videos on Sundays. Sundays are very, very important and busy for me. I don't know what happened to my accent or my voice there. But the Dolphins had a bye. So I thought, let's kind of go over some of these games and kind of talk about them and kind of look into them and look at the stats and see what happened and do all that jazz. So that's what we're going to do this Sunday night going into Monday morning, because this is late, because the Chiefs and Chargers game just ended. And the Dolphins are unfortunately still the second seed, but they are still the first in the AFC East. So we're going to talk about that. So let's jump into these games. So here we go. We'll kind of run down them, and I'll click on them, and we'll look at some stats and do that thing and bip boppity boop bop. But we'll start here. Falcons defeating the Chicago Bears 27-24. Justin Fields. Let's look at the box score and let's see how Justin Fields did. 153, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Not too great there. 84, but he was also the rushing leader. Is Justin Fields the new Lamar Jackson? That is a possibility there. He had 85 rushing yards, was their leading rusher. I said receiver because I'm dumb. He's not a great passer. He's good. He'll get the ball there, but it seems like he's more of that Lamar Jackson type. Can he also go into the passing aspect? And then you look at Marcus Mariota here, did better. Only 1 touchdown. You got the other rushing touchdown here. So what was it, a pick 6? Fumble. There's a couple fumbles. Yep. Cordell Patterson with a touchdown on defense. Interesting. But yeah, unfortunately, Justin Fields, the Bears have fallen to 3-8. But I talked to a Bears fan. If you go back, and when we played them, I had a Bears YouTuber on, and I kind of picked his brain. And we talked about the fact that they don't mind losing. It's more of the aspect of trying to see if Justin Fields is that next guy. And he's showing, especially with his mobility and his legs and all that stuff, that he is. The passing, on the other hand, it's not bad. He had 4 sacks, 25 yards. His QBR was 33.4. His passer rating was 84. Not too great there. But he's dynamic, and you could definitely build off of that. So I think Chicago's probably happy with that. Let's jump to this next one. The Browns versus the Bills. For the first half, it was an interesting game. It was 7-3, then it was 10-13 going into the half, and the Buffalo kind of took off with it. And then in the fourth quarter, Cleveland tried to fight to come back, right? They lost by 7 here. Jacoby Brissett, 324 yards and 3 touchdowns. I didn't get to watch this one. I watched the Jets and the Patriots one. It had more implications on my Dolphins. He threw 3 touchdowns. He had 116.3 passer rating. And he was only sacked once. Holy crap. And Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb did nothing against that Buffalo Bills defense. But Jacoby, good for you. And then you look at Josh Allen, 18 for 27, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. He still had 100.4 passer rating, but that's not crazy good. He only threw one touchdown. And then what? They had a rushing touchdown? Where did the other points come from? Fumbles? There's a fumble, which Matt Milano picked up. There's no interceptions. There's no points on defense. Ooh, kick return? Punt return? I'm confused. You let me know in the comment section. Like I said, I didn't get to watch this one. I chose to watch the Jets versus the Patriots on this one. But Jacoby did well, and it was a 7-point game, 8-point game. Apologies for my math. Amari Cooper, 113 yards. He didn't do that against the Dolphins. Dawson Knox was their leading receiver here. Very interesting. Now, Buffalo is second because the Dolphins have the head-to-head tie over the Buffalo Bills, who are sitting at 7-3, along with the Miami Dolphins. We will look at the standings. We'll get to the standings and we'll get to all that good stuff after I'm done talking about these games. Philly only beat Indy by 1 point. Jalen Hurts, 18 for 25, 190 yards, 1 touchdown. He had a good passer rating of 107.1, and they only had 1 rushing touchdown from Jalen Hurts himself. Very interesting. Matt Ryan, 213 yards, no touchdown, no interception there. Jonathan Taylor with the touchdown, and then they kicked a buttload of field goals there. Wow. I thought this would have been more of a blowout. Philly got to be careful. You know, they lost to Washington, kind of got that jitters, knocked it out of your system when it comes to trying to go undefeated. But, guys, this is a close one. Jeff Saturday, maybe he's actually doing something over there in Indy. We'll talk about it. This is the next one on the list. The New York Jets in Foxborough taking on the Patriots. Both are now 6-4, but unfortunately the Jets don't have the tiebreaker over the Patriots. They just lost twice. So they are in 4th place. Zach Wilson. Ugh. Oh my God, these are horrible numbers. 9 for 22, 77 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, with a 50.8 passer rating. Mac Jones isn't much better. He threw for more, 23 for 27, 246 yards, but 104.6 passer rating, but no touchdowns, no interceptions. Neither offense was doing anything at all on this one. Zach Wilson was their leading rusher, but you flip it, Damian Harris was the leading rusher on the Patriots side. Stevenson was their leading receiver, Jacoby Myers second, Denzel Mims, 35 yards. Holy guacamole. I watched this game, and it was a snoozer. It was the defenses. Look at this. 6 sacks by the Jets defense. 4 sacks by the Patriots defense. God, Zach Wilson. God bless. He's... Again, you got to give a quarterback 3 years. But God, that's not good. He's holding the Jets back. Jet fans, if you're watching this, he's holding you guys back. If you had any other quarterback, a competent, decent quarterback back there, you would have beat the Patriots. Zach Wilson's holding you guys back. Well, Doug, you didn't. No, he's holding you guys back. And don't bring up Will Tua, because I'm not talking about the Dolphins right now. They didn't even play today. They're still in 1st place. I'm talking about your quarterback. He's holding you guys back. Your defense is top 10. You have James Robinson and Michael Carter as running backs. Those are decent running backs. Your quarterback is holding you back. They even asked him, do you think the offense held the defense back? He said no. He took no responsibility for this garbage game that he put up. And of course, I'm sitting there, and it's 25 seconds left in the game. I'm sitting there with my wife and my little girl. He doesn't give a crap about football, and I'm watching it. And I'm like, this game's going overtime. Mind you, there was a wind. If you're watching the TV, the wind was going from left to right. That's the wind. So it was going this way for you guys? Yeah, so if you're watching, it was going this way. And in the 4th quarter, the Patriots had the ball the wind at their back. So the Jets punted into the wind. It was still a nice deep punt. I think they punted it to the Patriots about 40-ish. And yeah, Marcus Jones returns punt for 84 yards. So yeah, about the 26-yard line, he caught it and took it to the house. And I was watching. I was like, oh my God, that's how the Patriots are going to win this game. It was 5 seconds left on the clock, and instead of calling a fair, instead of calling a fair catch or something and trying to do something, their kick returner tried to do something more, and then the clock ran out when he ran out of bounds. It was just, now the Dolphins are in 1st place. If the Jets would have won, they would have been in 1st place because they have the tiebreaker over the Dolphins and the Bills. Yikes! 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 Rams Saints again. I didn't get to watch this one. Matthew Stafford 11 for 18, 159 yards, 2 touchdowns. He had a 26.8 passer rating. Bryce Perkins 5 for 8, 5 for 10, 64 yards. But these guys with multiple quarterbacks. Andy Dalton 260, 3 touchdowns. That's a good game for Andy Dalton. I thought they were gonna put in Jameis Winston. Did you see the stroke I just had? The mini stroke. Taysom Hill, obviously going to have some plays for him in there. He did garbage. Cam Akers, 14 carries, 61 yards. I got him off my fantasy team real quick. Taysom Hill was their leading rusher. I'm surprised. Alvin Kamara still, 10 yards under, but not bad there. Tutu Atwell, 62 yards for 1 catch and a touchdown. So it was a nice long touchdown pass. Allen Robinson, 447. Chris Olave, 5 catches for 102 yards and touchdown. Juwan Johnson had a nice touchdown. And Jarvis Landry, very happy. I know he's not a Dolphin anymore. He hasn't been a Dolphin for a while. I still like Juice. And I'm happy we drafted him in that year in the second round when we didn't need a receiver. So I'm happy Juice came back and had a touchdown in this game. Very nice to see. 4 sacks by the Rams, 4 sacks by the Saints. Not bad there. Competitive game. But the Saints pulled it off. And they won that game. Again, this is the NFC. It doesn't have much implication on my team, but I still want to talk about it. This game I want to talk about. I didn't get a chance to watch this game. Like I said, I only watched the Jets and Patriots. I'm probably going to say that 1,000 times. But the Giants lost to the Lions at home. And the Lions have a good offense. Like I said, they have about a top 10 offense. Even when the Dolphins faced them, if you go looked at their stats, they were like top 10 in passing, and they're really good at rushing and points for and yards. Really good. It was their defense that was hot garbage. So I'm not surprised they did this well, but I'm surprised that the Giants lost this bad. Jared Goff, 17 for 26, 165 yards. No touchdown, no interception. It was just Jamal Williams, who was on my bench. Jamal Williams, where's my phone? Let me check my fantasy. Am I going to lose now? Jamal Williams was on my bench. Oh, I'm up by 20 points. I need DeAndre Hopkins not to have 20 points. Jamal Williams was sitting on my bench with 24 points. That's my luck when it comes to fantasy football. If I either draft you, you're gonna get hurt, you're gonna have a horrible game, or if I forget to put you in, you're gonna have a fantastic game. And I forgot to put Jamal Williams in. He had 3 touchdowns, 64 yards, 24 fantasy points. Daniel Jones, the leading rusher for the Giants there. Matt Breida, we know about Matt Breida. Daniel Jones, 27 for 44, 341 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Yikes. Again, against the bad Detroit defense. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 76 yards. Khalif Raymond, 33. Wan'Dale Robinson, 100 receiving yards there. It was 2 sacks here. There's no touchdowns off of interceptions. No. Wow. Good for you, Lions. Good for you. But Giants, I ain't going to let that happen, man. Next one we'll look at is the Panthers losing to the Ravens. We all kind of saw this one coming. I thought it wouldn't be as close. And going into the fourth quarter, it was still a tie game, 3-3. Very interesting to me. I didn't mean to rhyme that. Baker Mayfield played this one, 196, 2 interceptions. Yikes. Hi, caramba. Lamar Jackson, 24 for 33, 209, 1 interception. Yikes. Both quarterbacks played like Doogie. Lamar Jackson had a rushing touchdown. That was the only touchdown of the game. It was a bad game, too. Hi. Demarcus Robinson, though, 128 receiving yards. Mark Andrews, that's his go-to. That's Lamar's go-to is Mark Andrews, 63 yards. But Demarcus Robinson, so long was 31, so he was getting 9 for 9. Good on him. Trace Marshall Jr. made about 50% of his catches. Let's see where they're at defensively. Carolina got 3 sacks. Ravens got 4. That was a messy game, too. And Baltimore. They pulled it off. That was gross. I'll look at this real quick. But we all saw this coming. Commanders beat the Houston Texans 23-10. There was no one there for Houston. Supposedly the point spread for Miami's game on Sunday hosting Houston's like 10.5 already. Heineke 191. He didn't throw any touchdowns. 2 interceptions from Davis Mills. Yikes. Davis Mills had the only rushing touchdown. Damian Pierce did nothing. The Texans are bad. They're going to have the number 1 pick and not be able to get the quarterback they want. They had the 1 touchdown from Kendall Fuller. It's just bad. It's bad. We're not gonna dwell on that one for too long. It was just a bad game. Raiders beating the Denver Broncos. Last I checked, the Raiders were down, but obviously they go into overtime. They get the touchdown in overtime to beat the Denver Broncos. I know Brandon Perna is probably really upset about this one. They're sitting at 3-7. They're both at 3-7. The West. Who remembers when the season started, or before the season started, everyone's like, oh, the AFC West. AFC West is going to have at least 3 teams in the playoffs. That AFC West is going to be real good. That didn't age well. Derek Carr, 307, 2 touchdowns. He had a good game. Josh Jacobs, 109 rushing yards. He's the only one who rushed. That's so weird to see that. Because you normally see it like this. Like Russell Wilson got some in there. Russell Wilson, 24 for 31, 247 yards. That's not bad, but it's the no touchdowns that kind of killed them there. The receiving, Cortland Sutton, 80 yards. Devontae Adams, 141, 2 touchdowns. My fantasy wide receiver there. No fumbles by Las Vegas. Good for them. Melvin Gordon fumbled. Montre Washington fumbled. Quinn Miners, he got a fumble back. He didn't fumble. Defense, 3 sacks by the Raiders, 1 sack by Denver. I thought you sorry. We kind of took your sack leader and Bradley Chubb. Looked like it was a good game. Came down to overtime, and the Raiders pulled it off. Good for them. Next we'll go to, oh my God, we're definitely going to this one. Holy crap, what happened to this one? 40-3? Dak Prescott, 22 for 25, 276 yards and 2 touchdowns. Fantastic game by him. So good that they put Cooper Rush in. He went 4 for 5 for 31 yards. Kirk Cousins, 12 for 23, 105 yards. Hot garbage. They put Nick Mullins in, 5 for 7, 54 yards. What happened? I'm telling you, if the Dolphins had Tua in, we would have beat the Vikings. Holy crap. Tony Pollard, 15 carries, 80 yards. Zeke Elliott, 15 carries, 42 yards, 2 touchdowns. Delvin Cook, 72 yards. Tony Pollard, 6 catches, 109 yards. So altogether, that's 189 all-purpose yards, 2 touchdowns. That's a nice fantasy. That's a nice fantasy, especially if you had him, you put him in. Justin Jefferson did nothing. 3 for 33. TJ Hawkinson, 5 for 34. I have TJ Hawkinson as my quarterback. That's my tight end. Yikes. 7 sacks by the Cowboys. The Bills are like, seriously? Seriously? We lost to them? And the Packers are probably like, and we beat the Cowboys? Like, holy crap, holy. Who would have saw that coming? I definitely wouldn't have. This was a good game. This also got me a bunch of fantasy points. The Cincinnati Bengals beat the Pittsburgh Steelers 37-30. Joe Burrow, 24 for 39, 355 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not a bad game by him. A lot of his touchdowns were yak. He would like throw nice little screens to the running backs, and they would do their thing, especially Perney. However you say his name. He had 3 touchdowns. He only had 52 yards. A lot of it was dump off passes to him for a touchdown. Kenny Pickett, 265, 1 touchdown. He didn't have that bad of a game. Najee Harris bounced back here, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's nice to see. A lot of people were questioning him. Joe Mixon got injured. I know that. He came out of the game. How do I know that? He's my fantasy running back. Kind of hurt me there. Again, I have to hope that Hopkins doesn't do well tomorrow. 2 sacks from the Bengals, 2 sacks. It was just a good divisional game. A lot of points scored. Came down to the last touchdown. It was a good game. Good game there. What else we got on the docket? And then we got the final one we'll talk about. That just happened. Just ended. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the LA Chargers. Patrick Mahomes, 329 yards and 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 280 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception. We'll talk about that interception. Pacheco, 15 carries, 107 yards. That was the first 100 and plus yard rusher for them since last year against the Eagles in week 4. I didn't know that. I saw it pop up while I was watching the game. Very interesting. Austin Eckler, 19 carries, 83 yards, and a touchdown. Travis Kelce, obviously, is going to be their leading receiver. He had 6 catches, 115 yards, 3 touchdowns. The last touchdown, he literally threw the ball to him, and Travis Kelce took it the rest of the way. You can kind of see it right here. This is how they took the lead. This image right here. Joshua Palmer, 8 catches, 106, tight end, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 5 catches, 94 yards. I'm pretty sure he was happy to have him back. Lots of fumbles in this game. It was like a fumble, then a fumble, then a fumble. 5 sacks by the Kansas City Chiefs. Only one sack from the Chargers. And they have Khalil Mack. Only 1 sack on that one. Kicking, though. My opponent on fantasy has this kicker. So he got some fantasy points off of that. But with this game, they gave the Chiefs way too much time. Right, the Chargers got their touchdown, and there was like a minute something and 2 touchdowns for the Chiefs. Gave them way too much time, too much of a cushion, and they just marched down the field. And again, with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce, he just needs to throw it up, and he'll catch it. And then the Chargers get the ball back, and there's like 38 seconds left on the clock, give or take. They're only down by 3. Got the ball on their own like 25. They don't have to go that far. Their kicker's pretty good. First down is like a design quarterback run that just goes for nothing. So they call a timeout. They have 2 timeouts left, and it's second down. There's like 25 seconds, give or take. And Justin Herbert's getting pressure in his face, and he just tosses it up for Keenan Allen. Like, just throws it up for Keenan Allen, who's double covered. The Chiefs defender smacks the ball in the air, and then the other Chiefs defender intercepts it, and that's how the game ends. Just complete dumb play from Justin Herbert there. He made a beautiful deep throw to Keenan Allen, but like, my man, you need to have situational awareness. You have 2 timeouts. It's second down. You have enough time on the clock. You only need a field goal to tie the game. Why are you just chucking it up? And you could see Keenan Allen had 2 guys on him. Really, really dumb play by Justin Herbert in the 4th quarter to have that interception. Really dumb play. Lost them the game. Now, yeah, obviously the defense gave up the lead, but you had a chance to tie it. It took the Chiefs 13 seconds to march down the field against the Buffalo Bills and kick a tying field goal. You had a chance to tie it, and I don't understand where his thought process was. And just I'm just gonna throw the ball up, throw the ball out of bounds, play another down. You gotta be smarter. Gotta be smarter than that. So now we'll look at the standings. The Miami Dolphins, 7-3. It's Dolphins, Bills, Patriots, Jets. Dolphins have the tiebreaker over the Bills, and the Patriots obviously 2-game tiebreaker over the Patriots. But if it did come down to it, the Dolphins, like say these 3 were 7-3, the Dolphins would still be in first place because they have the tiebreaker, and then plus you see the 2-1 in the division, they have the tiebreaker over the Patriots. So regardless, first place there, Baltimore Ravens first place by a game. In the AFC North, AFC South, Tennessee Titans, 3-game lead. Kansas City has a 3-game lead. This whole division, like I said, you were looking at it and you were thinking, oh, this division's dangerous, yada, yada. Nah. I don't even know if these 3, I think only one of them might make the playoffs. The AFC East is the dangerous one. The AFC East is the one that people should be talking about as if they were the AFC West. It's the East. Everyone looked at the East and said the Dolphins aren't going to do anything because they don't have a quarterback with Tua Tagovailoa. The Jets suck. They're not going to do anything. Well, it's going to be the Bills and the Patriots because Mac Jones is better than Tua, and the Bills are the defending champions. So that's what it's going to come down to. Nah. All winning records. The only division in the AFC with all the teams have winning records. Then you look at the NFC, Eagles only a 2-game lead on the Cowboys and the Giants. Giants, if they didn't lose that game, they'd have a 1-game lead on them. This division is the other one that is really good. NFC East might be the best one just because their records are better. Because there's only 2 7-3s here, and there's 2, but there's a 9-1. The North, it seems like Minnesota might clinch the North before like week 12, week 13. The South is just hot garbage. That division might be one with a team that's at 10 wins, and the West is another one. San Francisco, I think them and the Cardinals are going to be playing. Unless San Francisco has a bye. No, I think them and the Cardinals will be playing tomorrow. But yeah, and then you look at the playoffs. Dolphins still sitting there in the second. Wins tiebreaker over Tennessee based on strength of victory. You got to put up those points. Wins tiebreaker over Baltimore, best win percentage in conference games. So yeah, that's where it comes down to when you have a three-way ties. The head-to-head go out the window. So they win the tiebreaker over the Titans because of the strength of victory. We have a higher strength of victory, 465. They own 358, and then a tiebreaker over the Ravens because of our conference 5-2. They're 4-2. So right now, if the season ended right now, the Jets would not make the playoffs. It would be the Bills, Patriots, and Bengals in the wild card. The Jets just knocked themselves out of the playoffs with that loss. So, very, very, very interesting Sunday. I hope you guys enjoy this version, this video. Again, this is probably going to be the last time I do this because the Dolphins are going to be playing and they don't have another bye. So, there you go. This is the last time I'm going to break this down. But I'll do this for buys, and I'll do this for when the Dolphins play a Thursday or a Monday night. From now on, I'll kind of break down the Sunday games. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. Let me know. And if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We're almost at 40,000 subs, a little over 2,000. You guys are amazing. I love you all. But on that, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Like usual, stay classy. My fins up.